Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Don's Hot Rod Garage. Big Don with you. Just wanted to go over a couple things. My last video was um, showed where I kind of pulled the engine out of my 55 Nomad gasser and uh, talking about future plans with it. And I was reading all the comments and things like that, and everybody's like, it's kind of the end of Don's Hot Garage and things like that. And um, I wouldn't say that's the case. And to be totally honest with you, I don't have to sell the car, and who knows uh, when it will be sold or what's going to happen in the future. But I guess I didn't want to be that guy that held on to a car forever and basically let the car just rust away into nothing. So that was my initial faults on why I was planning on selling that car and still am planning on selling that car. It's just not going to be like a fire sale or anything I'm trying to do right away, and I might even be getting cold feet about it. The bottom line was I didn't want that particular engine in that particular car. Uh, and to be honest, I had drove that car when I first started driving it and got it running. Um, I jumped on it first and second gear, and it like kind of got sideways real quick, and it kind of made me think for a second. Like, my garage was open, there was nobody at home, and if something would have went bad where I ended up driving through somebody's front living room, uh, that would have been a problem. And the biggest obstacle that car faces on the street is, since it's a straight axle, the wheels don't turn very sharp. It must need really, really narrow rims on it, and maybe even a spacer so you can turn the wheel. But so then, a roundabout way, that's kind of how I felt about that car for a long time. The engine was way too powerful for how the car was set up, and I know I could change it, but I didn't want to be the guy that had the car that was worth fixing, that was worth building, that just let it sit around and rust to nothing. So got that out of the way. So um, last weekend, I do believe I rolled this car out and was able to get 2 minutes of a rant of whatever, but I was able to get the gas tank in this car, and then I had to order the O-ring for the gas tank spout. I'm trying to get down to ground zero, guys. There we go. Yep. My little nephew come by and help me put that in. So it's got the gas tank in it, but the O-ring on the spout was leaking. So I just got the new O-ring. Then my buddy from high school found me this intake at an auction or something. But it's actually, if you can look at the date, that's February the 4th of 1970. So this would have come on a 396, 350 horse, or a 454 LS5. So that's a 1970 intake, which might not mean nothing to some people, but to me that's a cool piece to have. And I got to put new shock mounts on this car here, because one of the bolts had broken and they had drilled it out and really did some cool stuff on it to make it functional. So I'm hoping I can clean them up in a little bit of vinegar and salt. So yeah, that was my little speech on the 55 Nomad gasser. That engine was just too much for it, and I haven't even really pursued that 69 Camaro that I was looking at. I kind of think that the lady that the widow that owns that car, and this is just my interpretation, is I kind of was thinking that she was wanting maybe more money for the car, which I understand that. But where we left that off at was, she was supposed to, her late husband had said to give the kid down the street first chance to buy that car. And he's since then, over the last few years, has moved all the way to Kansas and has a girlfriend to where he got her pregnant to where they had twins, and she was going to reach out to them and see if she could find that kid, see if he was in a position and he wanted to buy that car. But here's the deal, like, just 1969 Camaro, and it is a pretty decent car, but it was an original 6-cylinder car. It's got the 123 instead of the 124 VIN, the first 3 numbers of the VIN. And like I was telling my wife when we was coming back, you know, I'd like to have it, but like all the excitement was out of it coming back, because you know what it was. It was Cortez silver with a blue interior, 6-cylinder power glide car. And I mean, it's got really, really solid floors and trunk and frame rails. It's a really solid car, but you can tell it's got a little filler in it, which would probably turn into a little bit more filler by the time you like dug into it. But it's got like some old cool blue paint job on it, to where it's a decent car. It'd be a really fun car, but if I get it, that'd be cool. If I don't get it, I'm fine with that also, because all the thrills out of it, you know what it was. Like I was trying to explain to my wife, when it comes to 1969 Camaros, like, they got that stuff figured out. They know what them cars are. And there could have been a lot, it could have been a lot of different things, but when you start off with that 123 VIN number, you're done right then and there. That was a 6-banger car. So, still a cool car, but it'll always be a 6-cylinder car in my mind. You can make it a nice car, but you know what I mean. Could have never been a Copo or something really cool. It was a 6-banger. So I got the gas tank back in this, and we'll just keep tinkering away at it, you know, little by little. But I rolled this over here, so when I'm sitting here just relaxing, it's out of the way right now. And when I search on different platforms looking for like something cool to build or something like that, I keep coming back in my mind that I would be hard pressed to find something like that, you know, because I mean, we all see what they're selling, stripped out hulks of junk for 15 grand. I mean, you can look at the glass. I mean, the car needs metal work and things like that, but so I just rolled it over here, and I'll figure out what's next with it in the future. But where it's sitting right now, it's not, I can still get in and out of the fence. I can get the cars out of the garage, so it's okay. It's okay. But I've been kind of cleaning these for the last couple of days, and they come pretty nice. I cleaned these in that distilled vinegar, and these go up in here, obviously on the other side of the fender, but them secure your fender to your inner fender. And if you don't know, on these cars, when you look at the how the mounts mount to the fender, this bracket right here mounts to the fender, and you can see that's a bolt, and that's another bolt. So this and this didn't start life together, so I would assume that this was probably a NOS fender or something like that. Let's see, and if you look down on here, you can see the rivet. You can see the rivet. So these two started life together. And then, I don't know, I'm kind of babbling right now, but normally original fenders, you see the stampings in them? Original, you know, production fenders had some weird stamping in them. To where basically what I'm saying is, I think this fender right here was like a fender, a NOS fender, but this was originally put onto a car. See, because we're looking over here and there's nothing. couple extra holes, but there's no letters or nothing stamped into there. It's just weird things that you find down the line. But basically, I was even mentioning that because I got to put these on there, and if it was an original car, they would have already had them. Basically, let's look at this one. There's that bracket, and it's got the original rivets. And then once again, the original rivets holding this bracket to this bracket. My hands are all dirty because I just had to put an injector in my work truck the last 2 days. Yesterday I took it apart, and today I put it back together, and it's running great. So I just figured I'd come out and do a quick little video because you know, my last video kind of was like, I don't know, just wasn't a very vibrant video. It was just kind of like a little bit of a sad video. But you know, guys, I don't get sad about cars. I get sad about stuff that really is important in life. And sure, I would hate to see that car go, and one of these days it will go. But my original thought on that car was I didn't want the engine that was in it, and I didn't want it to sit outside and turn to a pile of rust. So that's why that car was a hot topic last week. Got slammer. And then you know, I try to just pick my battles wisely anymore. And like my brother's got that 57 Nomad that I got that engine back from, my old 57 Nomad, which was actually his old 57 Nomad. But since he's got it, he's put a one-piece floor in it and done all kinds of work to it. So, you know, doesn't necessarily have to be a sad thing when things move on, you know. We as one individual can only do so much work. So I'm probably going to clean them up a little bit better, these little brackets, and find some bolts and get them on there, and just piece by piece keep working at it. I think here eventually at some point in life we'll get that thing to fire up, but like now it's got the gas tank in it where I could put fuel lines in it. You would have had to been here on that cold day in January when I brought that car home, and it was just literally a shell, to appreciate where it's at now. So anyways, I think everything's gonna work out, everything will be all right. And like I was saying, because I'm kind of babbling now, but like I was saying, when I sit over here at the table, drink my coffee and relax at night, it's not a bad look. So thanks for stopping by Don's Hot Rod Garage. Once I figure out what's going on with that, I'll let you guys know. But like, it was kind of like a wave of emotion on the comments, which that's fine, but it's not my emotions. I was just sad because it was like I took that car back to not being a driver. But I could easily drop a little 283 or anything. That power pack engine that's sitting back there, I could free that thing up and drop it in there, and we'd be back to cruising. So everything's all right. I'm gonna try to, I don't know what I'm gonna work on next on that car. I just walk around, and you know, basically the reason the gas tank went in there because I was tired of moving it. So I was like, all right, let's put it in there. So thanks for stopping by Don's Hot Rod Garage. Hope everybody out there is doing well. Catch you guys on the next video.